Here we are, and today we're going to do Jessie from Toy Story. Yeah, we have already done Woody from Toy Story, and we're doing this because people say I can only draw a stick man. So here we have, there's a shape for a head, and there's the kind of body, and there's a leg, and there's another leg, and a foot, and a foot, and an arm, and an arm. And you want a big hat for Jessie. So that is how simple it is to use a stick man. That's the basis for the drawings, and we did it with the Woody picture, and we're going to do it with this one as well. So I hope you're ready to get your pencil and to get drawing. So as I say, we are drawing Jessie, so we need just some simple shapes quickly. She's got quite a nice round head, and we need the back in, and like I say, just the leg coming down, and the other leg. And I did that first picture very quickly because this is quite light, these pencil lines are, and doing that stick drawing, the stick lady for Jessie, kind of showed you how quick and easy it is. So I'm very simply and quickly just putting some guidelines in, and there's a left arm coming down. And so what we need to do is now just start building up with shapes. Remember how easy it is to use shapes. So we've got just some rectangles, and her arm goes there, her hair comes off. Just circles, triangles and rectangles all the time will help you put your image together very quickly. So like I say, the arm is just a series of rectangle shapes or cones and cylinders, the big cuff that she's got, and a hand that's coming down to a hip, and then a leg that comes down. You can see that from the elbow down to a foot is quite in line. So if you draw the triangle for a boot at the bottom, and you can see there that they're quite close together. And this is quite a quick, loose drawing when you put your construction lines in, and you can always rub them out if you want, but it does look quite arty if you leave them in afterwards as well. There are the chaps over the front of her jeans because she's a cowgirl, and that needs to go up. The big belt buckle that's the same as Woody's because she was Woody's partner. And then you need the other leg coming down. Oh, I've just heard in the background the recycling lorry turning up, so you might hear a lot of tins and glass clattering in the background of this at some point soon, because it's waste collection day today and they're all out doing their work. So from a knee down, that's a triangle shape there, and then you've got a rectangle going up, and then you've got her other boot, which is just a little bit higher than the front one in the background. And now we need to do a body. If you just put a very quick reference point in, there are two buttons, just a line for the yellow braiding, the little bit of difference at the top. It helps you when it comes to putting all the detail in later. So there, that goes up to his shoulder, and a collar comes down, and a little neck. This is how quickly the body comes together. So her arm is going to have to come off. So if we put a hand in now, and this all started with some very, very quick and simple lines as a stick drawing. So practice drawing stickman. And what's interesting is even in the films, the animation of the Toy Story characters, if you watch the behind the scenes things, she's got 3 little bits that dong off there. They're just 3 little simple rectangles. Bit of a cone shape going on for the big yellow cuff that she's got. Then going to her elbow, which you can see the point comes over similar to the button. As I was saying, in the films though, you've got, and the behind the scenes it shows you, and they kind of animate a stick drawing kind of line, which is great. So it shows you that what you're doing is being taken, these techniques from many, many years ago have been taken by the animators and used, and that's what they use to put the films together to this day. Because it all starts with a drawing, which is lovely. And everything around you starts with a drawing. It's how fundamental drawing actually is. Everything, all of your mugs, your cups, your cutlery, cars, clothes, they're all drawn by designers. And these characters for films, comic books, cartoons, everything needs creating and starting life with a pencil. So there's her elbow coming in, and then you just need another rectangle going up. It's a bit of a poofy rectangle, like a kind of long thin loaf of bread, and you've got that corner because it's right into an elbow. So we can just erase that out a little bit now, because we're going to need that gap. And then the original construction line that we put in for a torso down the middle of a body, that can come out because she wears a white shirt. And then we can put some simple toning in a bit. You know, we just take a load out of it. Head. So now a chin starts right on the collar and goes out, and we've got a point up there. If you put a very, very, very light construction line in, just a curve for the centre, because that's where her nose is going to go, and her mouth. So we've got Jessie's big smile. Which is lovely. And then a nose. He's a very happy cowgirl, but she wasn't happy in the film, was she? The song When You Left Me reduced many people to tears, but she was found eventually. And then you need a nice big elliptical shape for her eye. In fact, let's just check that, because I think that might be too high. So if we draw the brim of a hat, that's going to come, that goes over and then comes down. Side of a hat, and we need inside where a hairline is, inside the hat, and a hair comes down. Let's get the bigger shapes, and then it's easier to put the more detailed based shapes in afterwards. So her ear has got to come halfway over the top. So straight away you can see I've got that eye way too high on that. So we need to just take that out. And that's nice and simple. And then let's get a hair going down to a left ear. Let's get the shape. And her ear goes over to where the hat is. And so from ear to ear, her eyes have to work in side there. That's a little bit better. So if we remove the details of a mouse and a nose, draw the hairline, eyebrow comes to the top where her ear is. So there you can draw that one on there. And then our other eyebrow, get rid of that extra line there just so that you can follow it easier. And then her eye matches, kind of comes halfway with her ear. So if we loosely and lightly put our eyes in this time, there you go. And we get those shapes in quite quickly. And then drop a little nose in. And then a mouth underneath. You find that you don't run out of room. And that's the thing with using shapes and putting your construction lines in first. If you do notice, as I did, and I put the top of her eye where her eyebrow should be, you can correct it quite quickly. And you can sort out your drawing very, very quickly and nicely, which is great. Circle for her eye. What's interesting is Jessie's eyes have a highlight on. Whereas Woody's, as we did in the Woody video, didn't, which is rather interesting. So quite quickly, there we have a basic outline down for Jessie, and we can start picking the detail up, getting the chin line a little bit right, and then she needs a braided hair with a yellow bow on it. Again, that's gone out a little bit too far, so if we go from the elbow, a hat needs to just come out a little bit. The elbow at the end of a braid, so you just need a nice simple little shape there, and then a little rectangle with a triangle over the top with rounded corners, and that's a yellow bow. And there you have a very, very quick outline down, and then we can build the detail up. So this is where the fun starts with your detailing. In getting all of the darker outline and the sharper lines in, just to make Jessie stand out. So we will start with the top of a hat. That's going to come from, it's got to remember the top has got to shape so as you know that it'll go over the outside of her head. And then we've got these little wiggly worms again. Just imagine like an S shape. Over and under, well, under and over. And that's just how you can draw them, just think of them as little shapes, and it makes it a lot easier to draw rather than thinking of big complex shapes all the time. So from here you need the hair coming down underneath as well. Lovely red hair, so then we can carry on the kind of little wiggly worm shapes over the top, over and under, around the brim of a hat, because they kind of match Woody's. And now let's just really pull the detail in. So if we start from here and go up onto the brow of a hat, and a braided hair, is going to come down just over her ear, then the curve of her ear comes out, and then a little cheek, nice curve going up to the side of her head, and we can just accentuate the line around her eyes, and then she's got a really nice simple eyelash that goes over the top, and then a nice circle for her eye, slightly darker outline on that, and then the pupil is nice and big, that's nice and black. Again, just leave a little bit, that's the point of light in Jessie's pupil, and that's really nice. And you'll notice that if you put a nose in, that the gap is kind of the size of her eye. We can make this one a little bit bigger. So the size from one side of her eye to the other is about the same size as the gap from there to the other edge of her eye and then to the end. So getting your spacing really helps. And just look at the shape of the, it's a kind of squashed balloon shape because it's not a perfect ellipse and it's not a perfect circle. It's a kind of a wiggly wobbly balloon. If you get like a little water balloon and you hold it in your hand, that'll make these kind of shapes that Jessie's eyes actually are. And so it's quite easy. I mean, we've got this piece of paper here. Here, if you just draw egg shapes and then push them around, and you can draw them thinner at one end and fatter at the other, that'll help you to get these right. So there you've got the sizing a little bit better, and then you can just fill in a circle for the outside of her eye and then one inside, darken that down, and then remember to leave one little point of light, and your eyes really start to pull your drawing together. So Jessie's eyebrow, her right eyebrow curves over and it's bigger from the inside and then curves to a point on the outside, and then the same on a left eyebrow, and that's really starting to come together. So now if we get it shape of a little button nose, and the shape of a mouth, so that comes down to halfway underneath her eye, with a big smile. And then that curves up to join the other part of the smile, and a lip is underneath, and she's got very nice simple pink lips because she's a simple outdoor girl and doesn't wear bright ruby red Hollywood makeup. And you need the teeth, which are just a simple rectangle, and the teeth underneath there, and you can fill that in, the shade, and you can just leave it a little bit lighter in the middle, which can accentuate and give the idea that a tongue's in there. And that's how the face and the eyes really start to pull the full drawing together. So now we'll get the outline down of the rest, and then we'll probably go to a little time-lapse section for the shading in, which you can then do yourself and enjoy merrily. So let's get the braided hair coming down, and you just draw a number of lines down following the same contour. There's the third one, kind of fourth underneath, and then the way the braids go, just indicate the lines in the direction of the braid. The next one comes in and joins on the other direction, and you get Jessie's lovely braided hair. So here's the right hand side coming down. Let's just look at the picture. So that's going that way, and the same with the second one. And this is just so much fun. Now we can really start detailing up. So we've got the wiggly worms on the top, and that's looking pretty good. And we'll go to a time lapse now, as you'll see me doing putting the rest of the details in on the outline, and all of the moo cow spots on her chaps, and all the shading in, and then you can enjoy and do your version and your drawing too. So here we are, we've just come out of the time lapse, and Jessie's looking pretty good. We've got everything done. I've just spent about half an hour doing all of the shading. If you want to see some of the shading techniques, then do check out the Woody drawing, because that's fully narrated on the shading. But anyway, I'm just putting the shadow so she's actually standing on the ground, and then the important bit is to sign your work. Didn't do that on the Woody picture, but here we have Jessie from doing the very beginning, a stick man, or in Jessie's case a stick cowgirl drawing, to the finished piece of art. And that's how simple drawing can be. So thank you so much for watching. Do check out the Woody video as well. Do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll enjoy some of my future videos on how to draw different art subjects.